Hello and welcome back to my channel. We are right now in the middle of February, in what I would consider to be the dead of winter. I'm in southern Ontario in Canada, and I always think of February as like the worst month for my wheels. This is the month of the year that I can't really go places by myself because there's snow, and we're definitely seeing that right now. At the same time, this is always sort of the time where my brain, I don't know if it's doing a psychological thing to try to save me from the winter blues, but this is when my brain is usually like, spring is almost here. And I really start wanting to, like, I always tend to my plants, obviously, but I really start to be like plant crazy and like planting crazy. And I don't really have access to like an outdoor garden space because of the fact of being in a wheelchair, but every year I start seeds. I don't usually do well with them, but I start them, and this is that time of year for me where my brain is like eye twitching and it's thinking about spring. Now, that being said, I am on a little bit more of a budget this year than I have been in past years, but even when I haven't been on so much of a budget, the dollar store is like my favorite place to buy anything ever. And when I say the dollar store, like local to me, we have a Dollar Tree and a Dollarama, but you can find a lot of things across very similar branded dollar stores. So this is just kind of a more general, not specific products video, but I really want to talk about some of the things that I think, like, of course you could get them at bigger plant stores and like mom and pop plant stores and that sort of thing, but sometimes they're more expensive there than I think they're worth it. There are, of course, so many things at those stores that are great, and I love visiting them for like beautiful cover pots and beautiful plants. But some of the tools and stuff, I just don't think you need to spend the money on. The nice thing for plant people is that because the lockdowns are kind of farther behind us now, a lot of people have been getting out of the plant world, and the plant bubble is kind of bursting. So a lot of things that maybe were expensive in regular stores a couple years ago are coming down in price. So you don't really have to scrimp and save the same way at the dollar store that you would have before, because the prices aren't that different in a lot of these places. But I still prefer to go to the dollar store for these things, just to kind of make sure that I'm not spending a lot of money on the things that maybe aesthetically don't matter to me as much. The things that I know I don't need to be spending a lot of money on. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I would take you through like five-ish things that I think you should just save money on when it comes to plants and buy at the dollar store. Because for me, honestly, that's where we're at. I actually bought, this is not part of the list, but I bought a little thing of 12 little seed pods, and they're sitting on my windowsill because it was like a skinny one. Usually I find them and they're bigger, but this one was skinny enough to fit on my windowsill, and it comes with a cover. So I planted a whole bunch of like herb seeds in it, so we're gonna see that if I can do that this year. But like, I did buy that at Dollarama, but I have a whole bunch of other things I bought at Dollarama as well, and we're just gonna kind of go through them. Number one thing that I think you should buy at the dollar store, and not from any place more expensive, is nursery pots. Now, for me, these are my favorite ones that I own. My friend Brittany bought them for me for Christmas, actually, and I just saw them in Dollarama today, actually. These are by the brand Planty, and they just, like, I really like these ones because they're sturdy, and they've got, like, holes in the bottom, and I just really like them, and they come in a really great number of sizes. I don't think you can see behind me, but actually, my Monstera Thai Constellation, my Philodendron Florida Green, and my Anthurium Crystallinum, they're all just in the 5-inch pot of this without a cover pot, because I think it looks fine enough as it is. But a lot of plants of mine are also just in nursery pots, but then in a pretty pot. Like, I seldom plant directly into a pretty pot. Always this, and then that, because it's easier to water and easier to drain. I just don't think you need to be spending a lot of money on nursery pots, to be so honest with you, especially because you are more often than not putting it in a prettier pot. The prettier pot can be more expensive. You can get that wherever, get a handmade, get it at Home Sense, who cares? But the pot going inside of it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So you might as well just, like, you want one that's well made and that's, like, sturdy, but just buy it at the dollar store. In a similar vein, plant saucers. I like the terracotta ones. I actually don't even use these as plant saucers. I use them for like literally everything else. These days, these are my like paint palettes. I've been painting pots and stuff. Like, this is what I put my paint on. I love having these, and I can't imagine spending more than $1 on them each, to be honest with you. You can get the plastic ones at the dollar store as well, but I've also seen those at like the fancier plant stores, and they're still only like 60 cents. But some of these saucers, like the terracotta saucers, I've seen at plant stores for much more money than they're worth. If you want a terracotta pot as well, I would say buy those at the dollar store, unless you're looking for a really specific color or size or something. I just don't know that I can find a situation where it's worth more than the dollar store. You know what I mean? Sorry. This might be a little specific to my dollar stores, but I did find this at my Dollarama, and I wanted to show you and talk about it because maybe propagation vessels also fits on this list. Because, like, you can get cute ones at other stores, of course, but, like, look at this little test tube thing that I found. How cute is this? I have to try to find a space for it, but, like, this is fine. If I wanted to paint it, I could, but I don't really have to. Like, there's no reason that you can't just, like, get this. And they have macrame hangers and stuff now, too, at the dollar store. So if you want to get a cute little propagation vessel, they also have, like, glass vases and stuff. So, like, if you want it for the aesthetics, go for it. But if you don't really care about the aesthetics as much, or you think this is cute, like I thought, get a propagation vessel at the dollar store. One of the things I will never not buy from the dollar store is, like, things to attach plants to moss poles, sticks, stakes, whatever. So, like, plant Velcro and twist tie, like plant twist ties. I don't know why you would ever pay more than $1. For me, the plant Velcro, it comes in, like, a pack of 3 at my dollar stores, and I buy it every year, even if I don't need it at that particular time. I'm, like, basically hoarding plant Velcro at this point, because I use it all the time. All of my plants on poles and that sort of thing are attached with plant Velcro. I used to be really big into the twist ties, not so much anymore, but I still have it. I also have twine that I'm pretty sure is also from the dollar store. Next on the list, I have, like, small tools, like, for indoor plants. I know that, obviously, with outdoor plants, you're probably going to need, like, sharper shears and, like, bigger tools and that sort of thing. That's not really in my realm. I have these tools that actually I bought from Shein, but I've seen this exact kit at Dollarama now. And these are great. I use these all the time, especially the rake one when I'm mixing my sort of dirt mixture in my big dirt bin. I use this to, like, help mix it up. I really love these little tools. I think they're so fun, and it makes me feel like a real gardener to have them. Lastly, if you're like me and you're starting, like, plants indoors this year for the first time, or I've also used these before on plants that I give away as gifts, they're little tags. I don't know why you wouldn't buy plant tags just from the dollar store. So, like I said, I write, like, the name of the plant on these when I give them away as gifts, because I hate the idea of someone getting a plant and not having, like, the name of it to look up or whatever. So that's usually what I do. I also have these kind of, because my little thing that I started seeds on is so small, I don't have these in it, but I have just the top part stuck to the side. And I think it's a really cute, good way to identify them, and I don't know why you would pay more than that for it. And my sort of honorable mention that I wanted to throw in at the end here is similar to the propagation thing, because it depends on, it's similar to the propagation vessel thing because it depends on the aesthetics. And if you can find one that you think is cute, and if you like it, and that sort of thing. But I wanted to include, like, plant stands, watering cans, and trellises. Because one of my favorite plant stands that I own is from Dollarama, and it looks like the kind that you would just see outside on someone's porch or in their backyard. It's just a big metal plant stand. My big, like, regular Monstera Delicioso has been on it for forever. It was with me at the radio station. It was there. And I love it. It's from the dollar store. My old watering can was from the dollar store, but then my mom bought me the one that I have now, which is, I think it was like $6, and it's from Canadian Tire, so it's not like it's that much more expensive, but it's black. That's why she bought it for me. But honestly, like, there's a dollar store watering can is going to work just as fine. You know what I mean? And then the last one is trellises. Now, I have some cute trellises that my eldest sister 3D printed for me, but I also have these trellises that I think are so cute, and they're from Dollarama, and you can snap them together, snap as many as you want, and I love them. I don't know what it is. I just think they're so cute. They're so basic. They just kind of blend in, but they're lovely. I love them, and I wish every time I go to the dollar store, I think about grabbing more, and I really don't need more, but I always think about buying more. Another honorable mention that I wanted to throw out here, just at the end here, is if you need, similar to watering cans, is if you need a spray bottle, or I've actually seen the big sort of like the misters that you pump. I've seen those at Dollarama these days, which I'm butthurt about, because when I bought it at Walmart, when I first got my gecko, it was like $8, and now it's at Dollarama. It is what it is, but that's another good one to get at the dollar store. And then sometimes at the dollar store these days you can find cute little figures. Like, I have mushrooms in this one plant, and they're from Dollarama. All of them are. I have a ladybug hanging off one of the pots over here. He's from the dollar store. Like, not all of my figures, obviously, because most of them are Studio Ghibli. So not all of my figures are from Dollarama. But a lot of them are, and I just think it's cute. What are you looking for this spring at Dollarama yourself, for you, or for your plants, or for your gardens, or whatever? Like, what sorts of things do you find at the dollar store that makes your life easier when it comes to gardening or plants? Because I would just love to know, like, what you do and some of your tricks and your tips, because honestly, maybe I just haven't thought of something that you have thought of, and I want to know because I want you to make my life easier. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed already, and I will see you next time. Bye!